Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Drifter Saloon. Ven Corbin here with another featured superstar review. This weekend it is Stephanie McMahon. Welcome to the Queendom. Alright, so we have a lot of reviews. Some people were not able to do their reviews or their scores this week, but that's okay. We added two new individuals, both B-Rock and TSD came in, and boy howdy did they leave a review. So I'm going to jump right into it and start, of course. If you can, please click the links down below in the description. Follow these individuals. That would be of a great help. And then on top of that, please do not send any hate their way, as these individuals help out with this for fun project. We just try to see where we can rank these superstars ahead of time in case you're trying to build them. Alright, so Stephanie McMahon, she is a striker of the modern era. She's chaotic with the coaching ability of take 5, take 10, 15, 19, 23, and then 30% less damage from purple moves. At 18k, she has the Iron Chic ability, kind of, where any color move starting MP is reduced by 1 for the opponent if you get her up to 18k. So that's if you're going to put that much effort and resources into her. So, jumping into it with the first review, we of course have 2Bob. 2Bob says, Steph was someone that I initially overlooked. She looked rather strong from the get-go, but I did not realize just how strong she actually was. A complete monster in feud, and potentially a female acro dragon. Since she's not a showdown card, in my thoughts, and not a game-changing trainer or coach, that's why she didn't get the perfect 10 score. Shout out to Ty Dillinger. Overall, I didn't want to agree with Merrick's heading into the review this weekend, but I think I have to, and say Steph is better than Bianca. I personally will take a step further and argue that Steph is the best feuding striker female in the game. Alexa gets an edge because she can do both showdown and feud, but Steph is currently incomparable for feud. Stoked to get her in an hour or so. Yeah, 2Bob was flexing the fact that he was pretty much guaranteed to get her through shards, I believe. So congrats 2Bob if you did end up getting her. B-Rock with their first review over here, saying she's a turn 2 monster in my opinion. Blue, black with Lawler and Acro Edge and the Head Shrinkers. Very versatile champ. Very strong, very direct there, B-Rock. Benny, BPG, and Davey D did not give a review. Benny and BPG I do not believe gave a score either. Davey D did give a score. We'll get to that in a minute. DJ Anon says, I am reserving 10s for those that are truly game-breaking. She is great, but I don't want to say 10. And then he didn't send his setup because, obviously, this was a trial superstar, so a lot of people actually got to try her out ahead of time. Godfloa did not leave a score or review. Alright, Goldie comes in. Goldie gave us quite the paragraph and a half, saying, the only reason she isn't a 10 is because the trainers required are not easily accessible. When the trial came out, the immediate community response was, meh, she's average. How horribly wrong the community was this time around. I took the time to run 8 builds, over 4 preview videos, and a stream with her. She is so damn good, and I feel proud for people that can't see it. Wait, I'm sorry. She is so damn good, and I feel bad for people that can't see that. I was hitting consistent 1 million pins on turn 1 at 5-star silver. 1 million pins is pretty high there, Goldie. At 5-star gold, all of her moves scale upwards. She's going to hit like a truck, and I don't think that people will realize that until footage comes out of her at 5-star gold. The community as a whole is so quick to write off characters when they come out, and rest assured, if I get Steph this weekend, I'll be paying the community a visit. Welcome to the all gold everything Queendom. Kinda Goldie. I'm gonna throw Ven's opinion in here real quick. I will say that according to a lot of these reviews that we do in the Saloon here, a lot of these characters get super high reviews. Minus 1 or 2 people who like to throw out the lower end, we usually see everything between 8 and 10. I don't think we've seen a character agreed upon that has actually swooped down that low. So, but for the most part, I will say that, you know, Goldie's onto something with the 1 million pins. If people were writing her off that quick, they should probably take a quick second and watch those previews. Bunch of wonderful content creators that do that. You can check them all on YouTube. Up next, J-Man says, not a bad character, but not a great character either. Doesn't crack the top 3 female strikers, even with the new plate. She's on the same level as DX China. I don't find anything particularly engaging or exciting about her movesets. Fill blacks, drop multiplier gems, hit finisher. Or hit sub, hit finisher, recycle. Or drop row breaks, smash board, recycle. Meh. She's gonna win. It's funny that J-Man put meh in his review after Goldie just said meh, she's average. I can see a little bit of continuity there. Okay, J-Man continues to say, meh, she's going to win most of her matches in 2 to 3 turns. She's just not a killer like Wendy, Bianca, or Bliss. Coaching 18k for a negative 1 MP reduction and negative 30% purple move damage is really steep. I can't think of too many people with devastating purple move damage, so this currently seems like a very situational coaching ability. I'd sooner use the negative 3 MP coaches you have to only take the 15k. This one is a pass from me. Gerson comes up. G says, a bit harder to rate Steph, because I only tried her at 5-star bronze and 5-star silver, but extrapolating? It's a big word that I can't say. Stats, I could see her being a damn beast at 5-star gold. This is another person who said that she'd probably be pretty good at 5-star gold. I still think I'd put Wendy Hall of Fame and Alexa Bliss as better strikers, but I'd put Steph above Bianca. She hits damn hard and is very reliable, has multiple working movesets, and is fun to use. So, going back to this, so Gerson puts like Wendy Hall of Fame and then Alexa Bliss and then Steph and then Bianca. Okay. Chic's up next and says, oh, I just scrolled down, I forgot how much more I have to put. Chic's up next saying, Stephanie is a solid entry, but she's meh. Not bad, not great, just good. I don't really see her as a viable for showdowns with the negative MP perks, and she doesn't do enough damage even with the plate added with the 5-star silver previews compared to Alexa, Hall of Fame Wendy, Bianca, and Icons of WrestleMania Becky. There's a new name thrown out there. Her coaching ability, just like Hall of Fame Chic's, which I mentioned earlier, isn't very useful either, as Zombie Aleister Black and very few others would really benefit from having a 30% reduction on purple move damage. Kind of similar to what J-Man said, I could see that. Not a lot of... Yeah, Chic, I see where you're coming from there. Okay, so that was Chic's review of Stephanie. Now, he goes into another part of this that I'm very much in agreement with. This is Ven speaking. I think that the next part of what Chic says should definitely be talked about more in the community. So, we're going to go into that now. I'd like to add a side note here concerning the new Stephanie and the women as a whole that's been a bother for me for a while now. I've voiced on my own streams and others. Women have been in the game since late 2018. That's almost 3.5 years now. I totally and completely understand that it's not as cut and dry as their licensing rights and etc. are different. But why are there still gaps in women's classes and eras? There's almost 30 modern era women, and Stephanie is the 6th modern era female striker and 11th female striker. I don't see why we couldn't use a past Stephanie, for example, an Acrobat Attitude era, or a Tech Striker, Trickster, Showboat, Ruthless Aggression era, etc., etc. So, something I want to put out there is that we could have had other superstars as a whole that were not Stephanie. I'm drawing a blank now, but I know that, like, Kelly was one of them that we were talking about. And then Melina, I think, was one. Or not Melina, I'm sorry, Tamina was one of them. Like, there's other superstars that we could easily see that should be in the game and that you could probably fit into not being the modern era. So I know that I'm tangenting a bit here, and this is a superstar review based on Stephanie, but I might get together with some other content creators and maybe make a analytic review on women superstars in the game and what we can do to kind of see them grow, because a lot of us love the female wrestlers. We love the female superstars, and we want to see more of them. And Scopely putting them in the game, fantastic. I think it was a very good breath of fresh air. Not everyone's going to agree because maybe they don't have a built female roster or something like that, but if we could see more of the females in the game with more variety, I mean, we get straps all the time for women that just don't exist, you know, which turns into great, you know, strap parts, cool, but I want to use these straps on women. I want to have these different women with different varieties and classes and eras and have that versatility in gameplay that we have with the men, and we don't have that. So I think something that Chic just touched on is something I would love to go more in depth on as well. But anyways, we're going to move on. Merrick's comes in next saying, versatility is a key, tons of options, great moves, great gem damage recycling. The coach is interesting, but not needed at the moment very badly. So I do agree with Merrick's, very versatile. Retro comes in saying, again, another meh card choice. Third person to use meh in their review. This is the worst anniversary. Okay, I forgot that was in there. Retro says this is the worst anniversary month. So many better choices. AKA Natty would have made a good striker. Natty would have made a good striker, and that's true. Yeah, we deserve a good Natalya card. Onto the actual card. Purple Black looks good if you have Matt Hardy, Showboat, which Retro puts in parentheses, which I do. Ven doesn't. I don't have Showboat Matt Hardy, so I rated her differently. From what I've seen at 5-star Silver and tried at 5-star Bronze, I would put her above DX China, as with the perks she can hit all the moves round 1. So yeah, I'd go with China on this one. So I'd go above China on this one, and I wouldn't mind getting her and slow building her, but unlikely to spend, so try as I do to have a good enough female striker already, though I'd put Steph above her. Alright, so Retro has DX China, but wouldn't mind building striker Steph. Sapper didn't give a review or a score this week. TSD comes in. TSD is one of the individuals who just joined us this week for their first review, and wowie zowie, dude, TSD gave us quite the review. Alright, so first thing they cover is moveset. Her moves recycle well, and they can do excellent damage on any opponent. The movesets are also very flexible, as pointed out by some of the content creators. All hit well, but there isn't one move on that where I can say that this will take out on a card turn 1. Okay, basically there's no move that's going to take a card out turn 1, and that's what TSD was trying to say there. Example given, Luger in the Killer sub move. TSD goes on and says coaching ability, if you get her at 18k, her coaching ability is going to be annoying to face, especially in feud. That 1 NP down could be a difference maker. And don't forget about taking less damage from purple moves too. Very useful against those who use strong purple moves and finishers. TSD's the first person to comment on that in like a positive light, which is very interesting. And then up next we have the card pick. Personally, when I learned it was going to do Modern Era Striker, I wasn't entirely excited. I also wasn't as excited when I found out it was another Stephanie McMahon, especially when there are several other options to go with, which is why I deducted 0.5 off her score. Nothing on the card, just considering that there were better options, and I personally like to see more females from different eras. Yep, just comment on that. I didn't know that that was part of TSD's review. I try to go into this somewhat blind, so it's a surprise to me too. And I do like the commentary live. So TSD is kind of on the same wavelength as me and Chic in that regard. Chic and myself. And then last but not least, overall, she will be a top female in the game and could challenge for the top 5. She's not a difference maker in the game, but with the right trainers, coaches, and belts, she will be heavily talked about. So TSD covered moveset, coaching ability, card pick, and then an overall. Very, very good review there, TSD. I appreciate that. Zinker comes in at the tail end, says she is a female that hits hard and recharges her moveset. Plus, with the skill plate, she's very powerful. I agree, Zinker. For the most part. Alright. Before I show the scores, I'm actually going to throw out Ven's review of this. Obviously, there being a trial character, I was able to do a little bit of testing, and then I watched I watched all the content creators' previews on this character, and I wanted to go into this review and kind of give my opinion. And I don't have Showboat Matt Hardy. I kind of enjoyed the movesets where, like the blue black was kind of interesting. I feel like the way I've seen a lot of the modern strikers work, I'm not a big fan of multiply gems. So of course that's going to impact my score as a whole. I don't think multiply gems, they're good for most people, but for me, I don't enjoy playing with them. If I was going to play with a superstar, I like, DX China just dealing raw damage, fantastic. Stephanie did have the ability to recycle, which made her more enjoyable, but as a whole, I think it would be more enjoyable for me if I didn't have to deal with multiply gems. I might have enjoyed her more if I had Matt Hardy, I don't know, but whoever mentioned earlier that an Acro Dragon, a striker female Acro Dragon variant, yeah, I think that they were very close when they mentioned that. So, without further ado, the point that you are all waiting for, we are going to get into the Saloon scores, and boom, there it is. All right. I added something to this, question marks. So the reason why question marks are here are to show people who did not go through and give a rating. So right here, these two didn't give a rating, neither did Godflow, neither did Sapper, but Davey D did give a rating, so I wanted to make sure that was on there. I had to keep track of it in a way of where I knew if they did give a score or didn't. So we have a 9, 8.5, 8, 9, 9.5, 7, 9, 5.5, 9, 8, 8, 8, and 7. With the retro score of the week going to Iron Chic. I think this is the first time Iron Chic has ever given the retro score of the week. And then the highest rating score of the week going to Goldie at 9.5. As said, Goldie was going to give it 10, but knocked 0.5 off. And DJ Anon was going to give it 10, but he wants to reserve his 10s for the top, the cream of the crop, the best. And I agree, DJ Anon. If DJ Anon wants to save those 10s that he gives exclusively for the cream of the crop, then I agree with DJ. Like, that. And if we go back on his scores, like, yeah, he's never given a 10. I stand corrected. He's given 2 10s. DJ Anon gave a 10 to Stunning Steve Austin and Hulk Santa Hogan. But I mean, yeah, those are good options. So, consistency is key. And all of these people who have given reviews, except for myself because I'm weird, the rest of these folks give their scores every week, and we see consistency. You know, it's great. This puts her at a tier 1.5. I don't know if anyone's ever paid attention to the way that I do the rating system here, but 1 and 2 is fodder. So, like, between 2 and 3 would be tier 3.5. 3 to 5 is tier 3, but between 5 and 6 would be tier 2.5. 6 to 8 is tier 2, and then 8 to 9 would be 1.5, and then 9 to 10 is tier 1. So, because this lands at an 8.1, she's a tier 1.5. And I feel like that's accurate. She might be teetering on tier 2. It depends on the trainers you have. If you can build her properly, she's a 1.5. There are better striker options in the female capacity. We've talked about all of them, especially with Hall of Fame Wendy and Bianca and Alexa Bliss. Those 3 being named, they got name dropped so much. Becky, Icons WrestleMania Becky also got dropped, but we're not talking about her too much there. So, this has been a very long review. I just want to touch down it last time at 8.11. That's not bad. You know, a little over 8. She's a 1.5. And I think that that's great. I apologize for this being such a long video, but so many people gave such great reviews that I wanted to cover all of them. And now that we have all of these people, we may not see everybody give a review every week, but now that we have people who, you know, it just happens. Life gets in the way. We now have a good group of people, some content creators, some not content creators. We have everybody here that are just giving the review. I think that this is a much better, and it's very rounded out. I think this is a very good rounded out group too. So with all of these people, I mean, I think there was 17 total minus 4 people, so we got 13 scores. That's a good number. I love it. But if you folks want to be super awesome, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I'm trying to grow the content over here. And of course, if you have any criticisms, give those to me too. Do you enjoy the longer videos? Do you enjoy the more thorough reviews? If you do, let me know. Maybe I can make sure to get those reviews in there more. Do you prefer the shorter videos? If so, maybe I can swing away to cut down the reviews a bit. I don't know. But that's going to be that. Make sure to follow all of these lovely individuals in the description down below. And then until next time, be safe and take it easy.